If your animated characters just aren't staying consistent, if you've tried every AI model, if you're this close to giving up, don't. Because in this video, I'm gonna show you my exact process to go from concept to finished animated short in 30 days. I'm gonna break down all this, from character consistency to plot to acting to music to editing. Let's dive into it.
Creating the characters.
The first wall I hit that a lot of people usually hit is consistent characters. I used ChatGPT and Midjourney to come up with some ideas for my character and just trying to mock up the actual character design. Once I had that, I ran it through Runway to see if I can get different scene and scenarios to have my character look the same throughout each shot. I wasn't crazy about the results, so I tried Nano, which was recently new, and that gave me the closest, tightest character consistency across multiple shots. It was super crisp, high detail, so I decided to use Nano. So that gave me a baseline character that can remain consistent, that I can build my story around.
Building the plot.
I've had real life inspiration for the core of this short. So my father-in-law recently passed away and I dedicated this whole short to him, and I wanted to pay tribute to his character as not only a father and grandfather, but his overall character and resilience. So ChatGPT honestly couldn't really help me with the backbone, the main core of this story. So in terms of the backbone of the story, that part had to come from me. But where ChatGPT did shine was filling in all the connective tissue, so to speak. Scenes, the generational tech gaps.
Where's the menu?
Some of the small comedic moments, the emotional storytelling. Those are all the little sparks that kind of helped me piece this whole thing together.
Storyboarding.
So once my character and my plots and environments were locked in, that's where I kind of needed structure. So ultimately I asked ChatGPT to help me organize every shot I needed in spreadsheet form. This became my entire production blueprint to kind of go from, check off what I did, and kind of go from there. So in terms of images, Runway's outputs weren't hitting the quality that we wanted, even when upscaling it to 4K. So they just didn't seem crisp enough for our standards. So I switched my workflow. Nano was able to kind of keep that consistent character throughout all my shots. You can get unlimited generations through Google Gemini. It was a no-brainer to kind of use Nano for all this. I used Photoshop's built-in upscaler to make them even crispier. So once I was ready with all my images and I had all of them kind of crispy and high quality, I was able to go to image to video.
Generating video.
So right now, VO3 is one of the best image to video generators. It has sound, it has high quality, and it has amazing subject referenced generative ability. So I literally pieced this short together using about 10 different platforms that I was subscribed to that all had VO3 built in. Not ideal, but for someone who's subscribed to all these platforms, I made it work.
Acting.
So speaking from experience on making these shorts, some of my earlier shorts, I didn't really utilize acting as much. It was more music and visuals that told the story. But over time, the stories got a little bit more in depth and the acting demand grew. And Runway's Act 1 came out, allowing me to take it to another level with my short, Little Wild. I'll put that short link down below along with the behind the scenes video if you want to check that out later. So luckily Runway's Act 2 came out, which is even better. And obviously VO3, as I mentioned, has pretty amazing acting through kind of prompting and direction. So that was actually a really good combo, kind of using Runway's Act 2 when I needed more control over what I wanted my actress or actor to do. Using VO3 through prompting, I can kind of make my character emit certain emotions and say certain things. You could literally type the lines out and they'll actually say that line.
Subscribe to this channel. You'll thank me later.
Let me show you how to make something like that. So I'm in HaleUO's platform right now, but I'm using the VO3 model. So I have my prompt here. It's pretty descriptive, cinematic Pixar style shot of a character who's obsessed with learning his new iPad. With sticky notes everywhere, he says, "Okay, I think I got it now," with the sticky notes over his mouth moving along with his lips in a comedic fashion. So we're gonna go ahead and generate that.
Okay, I think I got it now.
As you've seen, it did an amazing job, not only getting the words I typed, but the comedic fashion. So yeah, pretty amazing.
Voices.
So this next part, with consistent characters, you also need consistent voices. So my character's default voice sounded something like this.
All right, the gray icon, yes. And then I scroll down.
So I used 11 Labs voice design to create my character George's voice.
Hi, I'm George, and this is my voice.
Then I ran every single VO3 generation through 11 Labs voice changer to make sure that every single scene with dialogue had the same character voice.
All right, the gray icon, yes. And then I scroll down.
I also did that with every other main character that had multiple scenes of dialogue just to keep everything consistent.
Music.
Music isn't just important, it's what drives these pieces. It's the lifeblood of these pieces. And this used to take hours. But now 11 Labs music feature has kind of changed everything and made this super streamlined and much easier. So you literally just go into 11 Labs music, describe the scene you want, and you could choose the length, and you could choose instrumental or vocals, and you could just type in your prompt and what your scene looks like, and it'll generate 3 different variations. And then this is broken down to different sections that you could trim, rearrange, and time it perfectly so your musical timing in your edits are flawless. And it saved me hours of searching for the right music with the right tone. Literally just had to prompt it and go. So this is one of the things that made this short much more streamlined than the other ones.
Editing.
So my strategy, using ton of cutaways, establishing shots to reset the space, and J and L cuts to glue the scenes together, and kind of layering sound design throughout, and using the music as kind of the emotional glue to make this one piece. Here's a quick sequence without music or J and L cuts, just the shots with sound effects. It feels like a bunch of just disconnected shots. It doesn't feel like one piece. So here's that same sequence with music, J and L cuts, and some good cutaways. So that's how I went from early concept art to final animated short in just 30 days using these tools. I hope it helps. Check it out right here if you want to see it. If you're building your own animated short and you have any questions along the way, drop a comment down below. See you next time.